So, as you can see, 200 of the juniors that play football in the South Sydney area about to get the thrill of their life as they form the guard of honour for the entry of these two sides, the Roosters and the Rabbitohs. When the draw was done for round one, emphasis was on bringing together typical arch rivals, Para the Dragons, Brisbane the Cowboys, Manly versus West Tigers, and today the most traditional of them all, Rabbitohs Roosters, or if you want to reflect and go back 100 years or so, South Sydney versus Eastern Suburbs. And there he is, Todd Carney. He's back to rugby league for the first time since July 08. The kid with an overflow of talent. Let's hope for his sake and the game that this is the start of the renaissance for Todd Carney. We're playing the number one shirt. The man alongside him, Anthony Minicello, then pushes across to the wing to make way for the experiment that the 56-year-old birthday boy Brian Smith is having with Anthony Minicello going over to that wing today. Golden Boot winner 2005, Mini. And now the Rabbitohs, they'll get a roar here. Roy the boy takes them out. He's looking to get back to the form that he enjoyed long ago when he was with Canterbury in a premiership in 04. Injuries haven't helped Asatasi. There he is, the commander-in-chief. Got an entourage bigger than Kevin Rudd. Waiting for a lift, I had to wait 3 or 4 minutes for the entourage to pile in and leave me standing. There's Burgess, the youngster regarded as the biggest of all the off-season purchases. He's on debut in the NRL, played for the nation at 18, comes from Dewsbury, the home of Mike Stevenson, already regarded as one of the best in the game. And today he will endeavour to rubber stamp that profile. Sam Burgess, 21. Today they're playing for the Ron Coote Cup. What a great man, what a great footballer. 148 for South, 109 for the Roosters, 23 tests for Australia, 9 grand finals, successful businessman, a successful man in life. And here is the kickoff to the Rabbitohs running right-left against the Roosters. And Perrott it was that marked the ball in goal. And going back in the run onside is Nuasala. And Francis Paul, the wrecking ball, will play the ball inside the 20-metre line for Perrott to take it out, 23 away from the Roosters line. Kuparitsa starting the game as dummy half. That run from that position is taken by Carney, but Kuparitsa, I guess, will play dummy half. And James Orbison starting from the bench. Here's a run from Minicello coming way over to put himself into the game on the right side of the field. It's Kenny Dow playing it near the halfway line. And they go to the boot there of Mitchell Pearce. It's a high kick. The runners have got plenty of time. Nathan Merritt was put under pressure. And then Merritt is put away down inside his own 20-metre line. He's only failed once in his last 10 games at ANZ Stadium to score a try, Nathan. Bow champion it is. Tackle 22 metres out from the line. So let's have a look now as these forwards, I guess, will run it out. Asatasi out to the 30. Taylor is on the blind side. Where's Sam Burgess? Just looking around. He's first off to the right. It comes to Taylor. And Taylor is banged down 25, or should I say 15 on his own side of halfway before the ball comes away. And South Sydney with Isaac Luke playing it. And it goes from Talanoa and it goes over to Burgess. And here he is, the first run for the Englishman, and there's about 11 metres there. Loses the ball, gets a penalty from the rake.
Easy, mate.
He did it in the Indigenous match. Repeatedly made good metres, hard metres. And here he is again.
And immediately in front of us, there are a lot of South Sydney fans. And at the end of this run, they were on their feet applauding. Roosters fans aren't happy with the decision of the penalty of stripping. And South Sydney now restart 32 metres from the opposition line, with Isaac Luke finding Stewart.
Stewart, the old warhorse. We play it back to Luke. And now through from Sando, finding Asatasi. The 13 is a trimmed down Nate Miles. He's lost over 10 kilo. And again from Luke. And now for John Sutton off his right foot, but Miles made the tackle. The ball is coughed up. Tom Simons has got the ball.
Well, that was a great tackle from Nate Miles. Copybook stuff down around the legs, but it forced the ball loose as well. The impact of it. So he's diffused a dangerous situation with a wonderful low shot. In fact, it was Simons coming over that forced it out. Nice combination.
Lovely tackle by Nate Miles. Unfortunately, it'll only rank as one tackle. Somebody dragging off as the third tackler up high will get the same amount of tackles on his count as it goes to the left side now. And the Roosters straight up the middle towards the 40-metre line. Ball being played again by Miles. And now it's come over for Pearce, who puts a kick in inside the 40-metre line, but it's well in field. It's going into the in-goal. Merritt's watching it and letting it go. Peter mentioned that these two clubs are the last remaining clubs of the foundation clubs. They played the first premiership final. They haven't played in finals since 1948, which is incredible. 199 played, 105 won by the Rabbits. And that first premiership they contested in 08, they did it without all of their rep players who were on a boat going to England for the first Kangaroo Tour. So that was marketing at its best.
Did you cover that?
I was there, waiting on the shores there at, I think it was Dover or Southampton. And it is Isaac Luke who will play the ball. And it's a penalty going to South. Thanks for that, Pete.
I'm with you.
Well, we're seeing a battle of wills here. Big hype around the South Sydney Pack right throughout the off-season, and they're certainly trying to assert their authority out here. And equally, the Roosters are trying to stand their ground in defence. They've already been penalised a couple of times for hands on the ball and the ball coming loose, but this opening stanza is a good old-fashioned softening up period. South forwards trying to assert their authority.
Taylor. He'll get wider as the day goes on, I've got no doubt, probably in his second spell. He's like a human tsunami. You'd hate to be confronted one-on-one, isolated with him coming at you. You'd be looking for somewhere to hide, I guess. Oh, this is Pettybourne! Off an inside ball from John Sutton. They're 11 away, they're going right, they're going blindside. And it's Sutton going away to Wesser. Back in the game from injury 12 months ago. He missed last season practically. Sutton again, showing it before using Burgess. He's lost it again. Last time he got a penalty for a rake, not this time. And he's found a knock-on in there.
Yeah, he's saying the South Sydney players knocked this on and there was no advantage to the Roosters in picking it up. They didn't make any ground, so a scrum feed to the visitors here at ANZ Stadium today. Our first Sunday game of the year. You've got to love your Sunday footy. Look at the crowd here. All the South Sydney fans full of hope again. They've been here since the gates open and ready to see their team go round.
Very hard to judge crowds at this stadium. I'll tell you what, it is a healthy crowd. It is a very good crowd, and as I said, it's almost impossible to judge here at this place, but they've made a bit of an impression on it, put it that way. Here's Kenny Dow playing in the centres alongside Phil Graham, formerly of the Raiders. This is Carney, talking of Raiders. And I've got to tell you, it's the first time live that I've seen him play. And I'm looking forward to the experiences. Minicello plays the ball after Taylor tackled him. Cooperitsis gave it to Miles. And Nate will play the ball on the halfway line. You see as he stands up, he's lost a lot of kilos. Quickly through the hands, and then it's gone away. Over there to Graham. He did well. He got a kick in. Wesser. And Wesser might be forced. No, he just stayed out there. Sando quickly for Talanoa. Good wing football by Talanoa. Relieving penalty, an invitation to come out of there nice and easy.
There's some good footy there from both teams. Roosters running the ball on the last tackle, got the kick away at the right time. And Reece Wesser was not an easy take coming back over the shoulder for him. He diffused it well and stayed in the field of play. Now Luke Stewart again gets the tough meters. It's a good run.
Stewart put down eventually by Simons, who partners Mitch Orbison in the back row with Burgess locking them. An endeavour, I suppose, by Brian Smith, as I said, to get some mobility. Here's Burgess with a neat step, and then he shrugs away, and then takes it inside 30.
Beautiful right foot step. We'll have a look at it later.
Here's Luke, inside ball. Sutton delighting with the progress given to him by Burgess. A flick out the back for Wesser. Wesser looks at Luke, runs away from him, tries to get it to Taylor, takes the tackle. 18 out from the line. They're running to the northern end of the Olympic Stadium. Here's Sutton, here's Danger, looking to unload again, as he always does. The 12 is Orbison. He makes the tackle with Player. It's gone on to Luke and now to Sando. He just plugs a little kick in. It wasn't equivalent to what was required. Here's a break. Back on Sunday Football in a moment. And all the score then as we welcome you back to Sunday Football on 9. Ball play by Nate Miles. Sideline today being covered by Andrew Johns. You'd be a pretty perky Foreman night this morning.
Yeah, definitely. Great effort last night. Gus spoke about the battle of wills, but the battle of game plans here. The Roosters have come here with a game plan. This is their fourth set with the ball. They've done a lot of dummy half running, trying to test the big forwards out for South. On the other hand, the South forwards just relied on power running, the likes of Burgess, Taylor and Pettybourne.
Simons getting wide. Simons through and through. Roosters Junior. Bondi United, I fancy, as Anasta puts it high. Time again for the runners. The runners, they win the day. Batted back by Perrott. Batted back again off the ground for Pearce. Here comes the second kick. You know what Gussie says. Watch the second kick. But they've made a meal of it over there.
Well, Anthony Minicello should have been the man watching the second kick because he made the mistake as Asatasi takes it forward. Andrew Johns talked about the dummy half running from the Roosters. All their back line working overtime to bring it out from the danger end. There's now one of the South backs do the same in Merritt.
To the halfway line again. Pettybourne. He's a good player, this fellow, Eddie Pettybourne. Sutton, Taylor, he lays it on the ground and Mitch Orbison wins the race. It was a hungry chase by Mitchell Orbison.
Yeah, it was a really nice hustle, wasn't it? It was there and he just threw himself out.
Payer tries to run over the top of the tackle of Wesser, but Reese did well. Now Kenny Dow inside 30, now nearly to 20. And he's held there by Colin Best in jumper number 3 and also by John Sutton. Here's Carney up at first. Payer with the correction. Nuasala with the ball. He'll play it on the 20-metre line. Held by Stewart. And playing it to Cooperitsis. They come for a blindside shot. And Carney puts a ball in. The weight is perfect. Talanoa. He's forced it. That's good enough. He's forced it with the torso at least.
Well, South Sydney have been very, very impressive and powerful in the way they've played this game. But you've got to commend the Roosters, who have defended grimly and then gradually to work their way up the other end of the field to force the first line drop out of the match after 10 minutes. So it's been a good period from both sides. And as both Andrew and I have said, it's a real battle of wills and game plans out there. This is building up to a very nice little contest.
The game these days so much about last play options. The other end, Chris Sando just kicked it over the dead ball line, all the pressure off. Roosters, their first opportunity. They get the ball in the in goal and get it back from under the posts.
And here's the Roosters again. With a chance as close as they've got to the line. That's Lupini Payer. Those big tree trunk-like legs. Now from Pearce, back to Carney. There's a player taken out in back play. Carney is wrestled to the ground by Taylor. With assistance from Colin Best. Kenny Dow. Mitchell Pearce. Nate Miles. And Miles is put down under the tackle. Mainly of the 8, which is Stewart. Underneath it is Taylor. Cooperitsis working with Nuasala. A spin, got it away. Cooperitsis, Pearce. Pearce for the line. Pearce is over. Mitchell Pearce under examination. The try plunged over near the uprights.
Well, the referee is looking to see whether Mitchell Pearce has lost control of the football. It's hit the defender and he's regathered. That would be a knock on, but congratulations all around. He's had a wonderful off-season, Mitchell Pearce. Has played Origin football. He is one of the brightest young players coming through. And look at the show of strength here against Eddie Pettybourne. That's a try. And the Roosters, through keeping the pressure on, getting the restart, get the first points.
Pearce
They're looking back to where Pearce actually catches the ball prior to his wrestle there with the defender to see whether or not there is a juggle that comes in contact with the South player. Here's the offload from Nuasala. Kuparitzis gets it away. There's a juggle. Now we'll have to see a different angle. And they've got to work out whether or not Pearce has caught this ball before it has touched the South Sydney player. There it is. He's got it on his shoulder. I don't think it's come in contact with Pettybourne. That's fine.
I don't know that shot was conclusive anyway.
No, you can't take it off him from
No,
that.
there's too much doubt as far as I'm concerned. He's got to give it. And it's a try to Mitchell Pearce, the number 7 from the Roosters. And today he mounts his claim for that 7 at State of Origin level, obviously.
Last year the Roosters were a team that really didn't handle setbacks very well. Any penalties that were given against them or drop balls, they dropped their head and they conceded points. Already today they look as though they're a mentally stronger team. A couple of penalties that the South Sydney have had, and the fact that South have played well, they haven't let it daunt them, and they've stuck to their task.
Carney from close range, he gets the 2. The Roosters are 6. South Sydney yet to score. And a welcome to our audiences taking our Sunday telecast out there in the United Kingdom and in New Zealand, particularly in the States, perhaps Papua New Guinea. Welcome wherever you are on Fox Replay. Kick off from Isaac Luke and going down to the try line and bringing it back is Nuasala. He starts the game in front of Jason Riles. No doubt we'll see the former Dragon in just a little while.
And just watch the dummy half running here. That was Sam Perrott who took the first one. This is Sean Kenny Dow. It's just outside the 30 now. Minicello was trying to get there. Miles did well to catch that.
Miles took a hit there from one of the South players. He was able to offload the tackle at the same time. Here's Perrott. They're right on the halfway line. They've got a 6-point lead, the Roosters, as Kuparitzis comes across and shows it and almost is able to explode through. Kuparitzis then, who went to the Roosters from the Dogs mid-season last year. This kick is high. Merritt's underneath it and he's come down with it. Nathan Merritt did well. Pouring the runners through. Cook played the ball. Wesser said, let me back it up. And Wesser was tackled on the 30. Simons and Lupini Paya. Now a run for Beau Champion. He was good in the All-Stars match. On the 40-metre line, he'll play it for Luke. Little scamper. Stewart wants a run. And Stewart, big and strong. Workhorse, just into opposition territory. Sutton said to Talanoa, come with me. Couldn't get it to him. Taken down by Orbison. Right side for Sando. And that kick, stabbing, stopping, making them work. Minicello has got Carney with him, but Sando leaves it and makes the tackle.
It's a strange kick from Sando, though. I mean, Todd Carney's having his first game in the NRL at fullback. I guess one of the questions that's got to be asked is he okay under the high ball? But as yet, Sandow hasn't tested him. He's had a couple of grubber kicks towards the in goal, which have been very comfortable for Carney to deal with. I think he'd be throwing one up in the air and giving a look at a high bomb.
Gee, I like the look of this fellow today, Nate Miles. He's been so involved and it looks like he's even a harder target to tackle. Wesser has beaten one. He beat Mitchell Pearce, all ends up, which wasn't an easy one for Pearce, one-on-one in open space. Here's Colin Best applying the accelerator. He plays it a couple of metres into the Roosters territory. Luke with a scamper from dummy half. He said maybe they're getting tired. Best is there to back him up. And Best will take it to ground under a 3-man tackle. But they're just inside the 30 and the cameras show you they're in middle ground. As Sutton goes across the face to Taylor. And the big fellow was taken down by Kenny Dow and by Mitch Pearce. Then it goes from Wesser. Sutton goes back looking for Taylor up the middle. And Taylor tries to struggle through. He had his arms free. The support were thinking about the next play. 5 tackles gone. Luke to Sando. He puts it in again. They're coming, but they didn't make it. I think they forced it dead.
20 metres.
It's a 20. No, I'm wrong. I thought it might have been Bo Champion that actually got hands to it.
Saying forward off Bo Champion. Probably touched initially by a Rooster player, but that would have been a knockback, and then Bo Champion reached for it to knock it dead, giving that. Well, now they're going to change the decision.
Yeah.
They're going to change the decision.
Yeah, they're now saying that the Roosters were the last people to touch it in the field of play.
Let's go, guys.
Nathan Astor, the skipper's not happy. It's a huge call. Jason Ross.
But once Champion has knocked it on, that's the end of the section. Doesn't matter who touched it last.
Yeah, exactly.
Stay behind.
I must admit, I was thinking the Champion, he actually got a shot at that, but it certainly wasn't a clean shot. There's Asatasi. He'd be buoyed a little bit, I imagine, Roy. I mean, he was an ex-New Zealand captain, very proud. He's Burgess. And this fellow, Burgess and Taylor, have had all of the spotlight. And Asatasi is a great player. Here's Sando over for Best, and Best is taken 8 metres away from the line. So the Rabbits fan to the right, and Stewart out at second. He's lost the ball. Souths have recovered. He'll play on. It's Isaac Luke. He will play the ball. And 4 tackles are gone. Still a chance for the red and green. Long, deep ball to Sutton. Wesser couldn't take it before the tackler won the day, and the Roosters try to turn defence into sheer attack.
Well, that's good work by the Roosters, because they had a couple of little setbacks there in those couple of moments, but they've been able to steel themselves on the line, and now they score a penalty to relieve the pressure. And South Sydney, whilst physically dominant, I really think they've got the better of the Roosters physically. Mentally, the Roosters remain strong. They've been able to keep their line intact.
That was a really good read there from Phil Graham, former Canberra Flyer, up at the Roosters. Came zeroing in, outside in, forced the mistake. And it's no surprise that Mitchell Pearce is taking his time to restart. They're just getting the oxygen back in the lungs. They've been under pressure. So that little pause in play helps their cause.
By GP, the Roosters have got to come to terms with this right foot step of Sam Burgess. He disguises it well, and he steps very late at the line. He's surging through every time.
We're talking on the footy show this morning about the number of forwards in the game who've got footwork before the line. Very few of them. The Rabbitohs have 2. They have Burgess and they have Roy Asatasi, who's good at it as well. So it's a double threat.
Roosters then with Nasta cleaning up the dregs back on the halfway. Burgess, of course, joins an exclusive group of British internationals. Henderson Gill and Lee Jackson before him. As Cooperitsis is able to fend away, pop a good ball, and Carney's in space. Wes has picked him up, got a forward pass to Pearce. Those that are standing can return to their seats.
So unlucky.
Good ball, Cooperitsis.
It was. Well, it was a good offload, and Cooperitsis again has taken the offload and created something for the Roosters in the middle of the field. Puts Carney through. Support was lacking. He gets hit and spin in a tackle here, and as he spins, he offloads at the last moment. The ball definitely travels forward. But I guess when you're on the hurdy-gurdy, you don't know where you're facing. It's a bit of spin the tail on the donkey there. He wasn't quite sure where he was.
We have a comment from Andrew Johns on the sideline, Andy.
Yeah, you can see a shift in the game plan from the Roosters. They come in the first 20 minutes of dummy half running to tire this big pack out from South. Now they've brought Jason Riles on and Daniel Conn. There's a beautiful offload there. There'll be encouragement for the second phase ball, which will bring the likes of Carney and Nasta and Pearce into the game off offloads.
It's Dave Taylor. South Sydney today recognising the efforts of Bob Byrne, who passed away last Sunday. Or in fact, late on Wednesday, after being made a life member on Sunday. And here's Isaac Luke across for Nathan Merritt. The point being they'd love to win for Bob today. His son is the stats man, Rod.
We've got a Rooster player down in back play, hasn't moved. I think it might be breaking Nasta, is it?
It is, yeah.
There's a high kick. Minicello, it was bouncing around. Sando legitimately tried to clean him up on the ground. And just casting the eye back on Braith.
It's no good.
It's no good.
They've signalled to the bench already. This Braith and Nasta's first action in 2010. Didn't play in the trials at all.
Let's have a look at it. It's a head clash. It's a head clash. So we've got no injury other here than the poor kid has just had a head clash and knocked himself out. He's clearing his head pretty quickly. He's as soon as the trailer waved, he was no good. Braithen Astor said, no, I'm fine, and he's wanting to get back to his position.
We'll take a quick break and come back at 6-0 in favour of the Roosters. Well, the good news is that Braithen Astor is okay. He's okay, he stayed out there. That looks like Jason Riles putting his frame up there. Riles had a season with Le Catalan, the French side in the Super League. There's Braith, he's okay. They win a lot more games when he plays than when he doesn't. So the stats tell me. But just on Riles, he's played 3 times against Burgess, playing with Le Catalan, and won 1 of 3 against him when Burgess was with Bradford. This is Talanoa now. He plays the ball after Orbison releases. Stewart, no frills was Luke. But you talk to those that play with him and he rates up at the top nearly all the time. Colin Best, just inside his own red line. A chance for a 40-20 still if they want it. No, Sutton passes far too early. That's good work. Good work with the ball. And Ben Rowe is on in 16 to be tackled. Asatasi with nice hands there. Sutton puts in a little kick and Simons picked it up in front of a charging Chris Sando. He and Sutton had worked out that play, but so had Tom Simons, who now plays it.
Well, I actually think it was a late decision there from John Sutton. He saw out the side of his vision Chris Sando flying onto the football, and that's why he chipped, but it was well covered.
Peter, I cannot understand why South Sydney haven't put a bomb up to Todd Carney. Why wouldn't they give it a look in one in the air and just say, well, can he catch it or not? Surely, with a bloke playing fullback for the first time, that's got to be his initial test.
Well, their kicking game has been poor, there's no doubt about that. Even the ones that they have come up with have been fairly comfortably rounded up by the opposition. No pressure on most of the occasions. Unless they get that right, then they're going to be in trouble. It's a huge part of the game. That's Daniel Conn, 42 out.
From the Titans. Now here's a good ball back from Miles and picking up James Orbison it is, who's out there now. And away it goes from Conn through Anasta, through Simons, and it's picked up with Graham. And Phil will play it 12 away from the line. Carney up at first, just flicks the ball down for Miles. It's 6-0 in favour of the Roosters with 23 and a half minutes to gone and a chance to go further in front. Kick by Carney. Carney's after it, but it beats him to the dead ball.
Oh, he saw it. He's taken a tumble over the back of the signage here, but Carney saw an opportunity for himself, and this is the type of player that can excite fans, one who sees an opportunity and takes it straight away. He looks up, nothing behind, gets it in. He would have won the race to the ball comfortably had it been a softer kick.
There's a knock on there, so here's another chance for the Roosters to pile on an attack.
And just the first signs of fatigue here now on the South Sydney side, who I must say the venom has gone out of their ball running a little bit. Their kicking game is poor, and when you start to get a sloppy play the ball from a front rower and that doesn't help the dummy half pick it up cleanly, they're sure signs of fatigue and maybe even a little frustration that their battering ram tactics haven't worked as yet. Good chance for the Roosters to nail them here and get out to a good lead. At least that's the way they should be thinking.
Roosters lost both their games against South last year. 25-1 to win the competition. The team from Bondi with TAB Sportsbet, Anasta, Graham. Graham tries to run around Bo Champion, but he's a very strong defensive centre champion. On the 30-metre line, Minicello says it's time to have a go. And Nathan Merritt struggles with Reece Wessert. They try to put him into touch. And Phil Graham makes sure that Minicello stays in the field of play. Now from Simons, back for Con. And he'll play the ball 15 away from the line. It's only the third of 6. Low pass, Pearce. Oh, gee, that's a strong hit by Asatasi. The ball coming to ground. And it's play on, according to the referee.
He's still not 100% out there, Braithen Astor. In the last couple of minutes, he's had 2 trainers come out, stay down on his haunches on one occasion. As South Street Pettybourne hit the ball out. And that is a brute big hit. Roy Asatasi monstering Mitchell Pearce, who does love to come to the line to ball play.
Asatasi, who put that brute big hit together, was immediately taken off. And Sando is brought down. Just looking through the glasses, it'll be Scott Getty who's gone out there. All bandaged up down that right arm.
This is an interesting penalty because the referee says the man on top has got to move, but the man underneath is making no effort to try and play the ball quickly whatsoever. So if the bloke underneath isn't trying to get up, why do you have to get off him as quickly as that?
It's not a mattress. It's not a mattress.
But they're obsessed.
They're not invited to have a sleep there.
But you don't have to give the team an advantage it hasn't deserved, Ray.
This is McPherson. 11 metres away from the Roosters line.
A mattress, that's very good.
Here's Burgess, close to the line. McPherson away to the left, runs decoy for Sando. Beautiful ball, intercepted though by Kenny Dow. Sando's the chaser. Sandow after Kenny Dow. Wes is coming across the ground, but Kenny Dow will run the length of the field and score. Kenny Dow turning what was absolute pressure for the Roosters into jubilation and delight 90 metres down the ground.
And our second intercept of the weekend. Purtell went 95 last night for Penrith. And Sean Kenny Dowell, I was talking to him during the week and he was delighted to be in the centres. He's actually played most of his schoolboy football and junior football in the centres, in the top grade on the wing. Sando looked like he was going to round him up fairly quickly, but then the big stride kicked in and he had them covered. He said he enjoyed the type of coaching under Brian Smith and he was enjoying the change in position.
First time I ever saw him play, he was playing for New South Wales under-17s against the junior Kiwis over in Auckland. It was a curtain raiser to a test match we went to over there. And the junior Kiwis were too good for the New South Wales side, but Sean Kenny Dow was far too good for them. He played in the centres and he was just physically superior than everyone else on the field. He's been exclusively used pretty much on the wing by the Roosters over the last couple of years. He does get lost in defence a little bit. But as you say, back into his more comfortable centre position, and I think he enjoys the confidence of having a winger outside him, where he doesn't have to be the last man to make a decision. And you saw there, he thought, well, man or ball, I'll take ball. And he's come up with a 90-metre intercept.
He's a lot younger than I thought. He's fitted plenty in as well. He played a test for New Zealand, born in Brisbane actually, in '88. Kenny Dow scoring the try. Todd Carney, 12 in, 20 out to convert at the southern end. It's 10-0 and put another 2 on it. It is 12-0 in favour of the Roosters. The outsiders are in front in Sunday football.
Stand side, guys.
So welcome back to Sunday football. Chris Sando, 78 kilos, Braithen Astor 98 kilos. And Gus is wondering why Sando's not making any effort to get up. As I hark back to a little verbal joust we had that you were given the last say.
It was James Orbison.
Was it James Orbison?
It was James Orbison. What's
Right.
his weight? Get his weight.
Never mind about that. Here's Minicello.
Oh, now you don't want to argue about it.
He's more a cushion than a mattress.
Where's James Orbison?
All you wanted to do was find out problems for Chris
88
Sando
kilos.
not moving around to get up. He's 78. He's only a lightweight, a flyweight.
Ooh.
This ball has found touch.
Just outside the 40-20 range from Todd Carney. He looks very good out there, Carney, and they've worked out this combination. Now the question was with the Roosters as to how it was all going to work with Minicello there, Braithen Astor, Todd Carney and Mitchell Pearce. Well, Carney's playing a dummy half sometime, he's a first receiver sometime, he's helping Mitchell Pearce, but they're not getting in each other's way.
Thank God you're here. Today's one community charity is Life Education Australia. With the help of Healthy Harold, they're educating kids about their health and well-being, and to find out how to eat well, play well and stay well, visit lifeeducation.org.au. Stay healthy. Stay under this box if you want to stay healthy. Shannon McPherson plays it. Here's Burgess. Burgess, look at him standing there like a colossus. He's very, very strong. I've seen a lot of these blokes come down from England, and I'm not going to go too far with this, but I saw Watson come down here, and I've seen some of the great English forwards, McTeague and company. And I saw Lowe come to Manly, really come to Manly. This bloke could be right up there. Here's Carney, taken down by Bo Champion. Now for Phil Graham. Minicello. Sam Perrott. Looks like he's put on weight, Perrott. It's like a bigger version than I've been used to seeing.
He's bigger than Sandow.
The Dunster.
What Burgess heard out there is on the last tackle, Mitchell Pearce drives it in behind Nathan Merritt. Finds touch. It's a simple recipe, but one that's working well for the Roosters. Mistake-free play out of their own end. They've now completed 15 of 17 carries.
Yeah, South Sydney needs something here. The fizz has gone out of the bottle for them at the moment. They've come out, they've tried the brute force bit, and now in the steamy weather.
Oh, there's another head clash there. Sorry, Gus, between Geddes and Burgess.
Yeah.
25 degrees, I think it is out there.
Yeah, it'll be steamy, a little steamier here than it is in Bradford or wherever he came from. So the sting has just gone out of them a little bit, and they need something here just to re-energise themselves.
Played on the 20-metre line by Talanoa. Here's McPherson. And he's taken down by Riles and plays it inside the 30 in the middle of the ground. It's Pettybourne almost to the 40-metre line. Burgess again. He's able to pop it back for Luke. Then it's away to Sando, and here's Bo Champion running at a gap that is closed by Graham and Simons. Here's Luke again. He had Graham at 6s and 7s, and Miles again with that copybook tackle of his. Sando, chip, regather, no, he's put it down.
Last tackle.
And though his kicking game has probably been poor overall, he's almost pulled this off.
Yeah, still, it's rabbit out of the hat stuff, isn't it? You know, that's a play that the defence will be alert to on tackle 5, not so much on tackle 2 or 3. He had his entire team to the left-hand side there. They really haven't put Roosters under pressure with the high ball. It just smacks a little of trying to pull a rabbit out of the hat. When you get to that stage mentally and you hit and hope, you're pretty much playing into the hands of the opposition. South have really got to settle down here. 6 minutes before the break, they've got to ensure, at absolute worst, they're only down 12-0 at half-time. And if they can get a try, that's a bonus.
Daniel Collin just beyond his own 30-metre line. Pearce tries to work. McPherson and Lowe make the tackle right on the 40. James Orbison to Mitchell Orbison. And Sutton and Best, they hang on with McPherson. Kenny Dowell. Pursued Jason Clark, who's out there now for the Rabbits in 17. And then a short ball away for Kong, but it was given to him in a real pressurised situation. And Bo Champion plays it for the Rabbits. Here comes Nathan Merritt, drifting, but Mitchell Orbison puts him away. Centre ground, Sutton, Wesser to the 40, and then it's gone to ground. Advantage applied, accepted by Mitch Orbison.
Yeah, hit the arm there of Sean Kenny Dowell, but it went backwards to his own player, so no knock on. And Sam Terrett, well, out of dummy half, he throws a pass this time, and it's a good one.
Yes, and it's a better one from Anasta to Simons. Oh, Simons has had his leg snapped from under him by Luke, and he missiled through the air.
That looked awkward. Yeah. That looked really awkward. Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Left knee.
Yep. Young Tommy Simons, who I think last year underwent, that's terrible. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Last year he underwent a shoulder reconstruction. A good young talent, and these are the things that can happen in football where the left knee is hyperextended, it dug into the turf, he was caught awkward. And
he has done so well to hang on to that football.
Oh, he's a tough kid. He's a really good, tough kid. And a good footy player too.
He has got every right to have lost that mid-air or when the body hit the ground.
Yep. Let's hope it's just hyperextended and there's no ligament damage there. It would have shocked him. He's just sitting up now, they're assessing it. They're saying no, that's the doctor, Dr. John Orchard.
He was the Toyota Cup Player of the Year 2 years ago, Tom Simons. I mentioned earlier, he's through and through a Rooster from Bondi United.
Calling for the stretcher.
Right, we'll take a break. We'll come back and check on Tommy Simons in just a moment. 12-0 in favour of the Roosters. So a lengthy halt necessitated by the right treatment being rendered to Tom Simons. We saw the other former Rooster, red-headed Rooster, Shane Shackleton, suffer a similar, what could be a season-ending injury on Friday night. He was one of the three redheads, Ben Jones the other, here last year. And now young Simons has done some damage to his left knee. Around this ground of this crowd, we're a stadium that takes 80,000. This is in the high 20s, I think. This crowd, which you might not think is amazing, but it's a damn good crowd, indicating that people really have been busting to get the football back. But Tom Simons is the man at the moment, the subject of the moment. He might have gone all the way too.
Tell us when it's off, Dave.
So back at the ANZ Stadium here in Sydney, Sunday football, and Tom Simons, the second row talent from the Roosters, is taken by Medicab from the ground. And a sad moment in the game, but Let's hope that the damage is not too dramatic. There's some good news at the end of it. It's played by Riles now. They try to come back with some points from the efforts of Tom Simons. 10 metres out from the line. And the 14 is Guerra from Townsville. Comes through, I believe, Melbourne. Now it's with Pearce, and Pearce is 5 metres away. That's the turnover. So just a couple of tackles were remaining after the shot on Tom Simons.
That's a cool blow, not only for Tom Simons, but the Roosters. They lost Anthony Cherrington in the last 5 minutes of their final trial game. Anthony Cherrington, a promising young player with the club, and now Tommy Simons. It's a cruel blow in this age where salary cap doesn't allow you a great deal of depth.
Riles and Burgess just finished up clashing heads. A couple of the big forwards got up, hanging onto the melon. There's Merritt. Love watching him play, Nathan Merritt. Love it when he gets into space and strides out like a real athlete. And that kick is bouncing, well, it's bouncing back infield. So Todd Carney was caught a little bit napping there. They'll force him in goal. Good chase. They stayed alive, the Rabbits.
Got a wicked bounce to Todd Carney, but he also made the mistake of staying upright when he headed across field. For all intents and purposes, that ball was going out, but as he goes sideways, he stayed up. Had to get down low, even try and dive between the players. Because once they were able to keep him on his feet, forcing him back, that was the easy part.
See, a fullback of greater experience there just would have had his foot on the line and touched that ball, and the ball would have been dead in touch. And then, as you say, he didn't have the experience to get down to run it back into the field to play. But they're little things that no doubt he and Coach Brian Smith will have to work on if he's going to play that position full time.
McPherson takes it back to the 30. Half time, 2.5 away. Burgess still looking to pass. One hand on the ground. Sando, Geddes, and Scott Geddes carries the defenders, James Orbison and Daniel Conn. They're 12 away, centre of the park. Sando kicks for his wingman, Merritt will score! Nathan Merritt has gone up with the bounce and brought it back down. That was a better kick from Sando.
Well, the last 2 kicks have been superb. John Sutton down into the corner. They got a restart from that. And then Chris Sando saw that Anthony Minicello was 15 metres from the sideline. Let's just have a look at the work of Nathan Merritt here. He's in plenty of space, but it wasn't a particularly great bounce. Got it in, kept his balance, and that's what he's so good at, the balance that he has when he moves. Scored a very important try just before the break.
It's a big try for South Sydney. And just look at the chain of events in the last few moments. Roosters look certain to score at one end of the field. Tom Simons does his knee, and South Sydney force their way back to the other end with a freakish kick down the sideline and pinning Tom Carney in goal. And then a neatly little work play with Sandow at dummy half, chip kicking for his winger Merritt, and that's a timely try for the home side. 77 tries for Nathan Merritt. He's 7th on the club's all-time list behind legendary names as Waring, Ian Moyer, Porter, McCarthy, Cleary and Gray. And this would be the perfect end of the half if the try can be converted from out wide. This will be the last play. We won't see a kick-off now before the break, I'd imagine. But to be 12 behind going into the break, if Isaac Luke can steer this one through the uprights from the sideline, South Sydney go into the dressing rooms with their tails up.
So Isaac from the touchline, an abbreviated lead up. It took off lovely and the flags are in the air. Great kick from Isaac Luke. The old Fox, Johnny Lang, back on the sideline. 7 or 8 years with Cronulla, 4 or 5 with Penrith, premiership with the latter, and now the mentor of South Sydney, relieved to be only 6 behind now at half-time. We'll take a break and come back in just a moment on Sunday Football. And welcome back to ANZ Stadium, where our first edition of Sunday Football is coming from today, and the Roosters in front at half-time by 6. They've had 19 uses, completed 16. South Sydney, on the other hand, 20 uses to complete only 12. But of course, the Roosters have suffered the loss of Tom Simons, who was doing very, very well for them. And it just seemed that injury to Simons gave South the chance to get some oxygen back in the tanks. They piled on that try right on half-time. Kids from South Sydney Juniors having the time of their life. Now Peru through Alexandria, Mascot, Marrickville. All of those junior clubs, Alexandria. And they just had a little game of mod football, mini football, and then a guard of honour for the Rabbitohs. Down the probably middle 20s division. Burgess has been great in the first half. Sando, his last kick was a beauty, but this man here is the one that most people are talking about. Sam Burgess. Jews. Let me recommend that you don't go on holidays there. So here's the start of the second half. And Nasta's kick going down for John Sutton, and Geddes brings it back. Due respect to Dewsbury, but at the same time, it's not the most entertaining place. Here's Burgess. Just inside 30, Peter Sterling, Phil Gould in commentary. In the box, and Andrew Johns down on the sideline today. McPherson playing it for Luke. A run for Lowe. And he's up to the halfway line. They just keep driving it up the middle with the engine room. My only criticism of that is sometimes is Carney losing his feet back in goal. He's able to get it back even then, almost to the 20. They tend to be waiting for the next play rather than maybe grabbing something out of the play that's in front of them. Running support for the play that is going on at the time. They're preparing for the next. Perrott. Then James Orbison, no look for Nate Miles on the red line. 12-6 Roosters, if you just joined us. They got a couple of tries. Mitchell Pearce at the 12th, Kenny Dowell at the 28th.
Nice kick there from James Orbison. Again, wasn't far from the 40-20.
Andrew Johns on the sideline.
Yeah, just an injury report on young Tom Simons, the hyperextension of that knee. The early diagnosis is it's only going to be a couple of weeks. They're going to have scans tomorrow to make sure there's no ligament damage. So hopefully good news for the young guy. It looked horrible.
I should have mentioned earlier, Steggles, the major sponsor of the Roosters, are donating $1,000, and then the Roosters will donate $250 to what they call the charity nest. For every point they beat the opposition by, and it's going to aid 7 charities, including Westpac Helicopter Service, Lifestart Camp Quality, Children's Cancer Research Institute. The charity nest will go to charities, obviously. No administration costs will be taken. Well done, Roosters, and well done, Steggles. Here's McPherson. But it could get up, the charity nest could get up to anything. That Eagles nest that Sterling won on the par 3 the other day at Castle Hill, it had about 27 balls in it. To the 40-metre line then. Roosters end of the ground. Here's Sutton. Ressa gave him something. Oh, gee, now James Orbison's gone down. And here is Sando. He goes to the boot. Plenty of players out of action. He might have been better off putting it through the hands, but here's Minicello. He's thumped into the ground by McPherson in front of the southern uprights. And here's Perrott, taken by Sando.
This still on the ground, James Orbison. They can't afford to lose any more troops. He's limped his way up. Making his way gingerly back over the 30 as Sam Perrott, as he does so well, gets out of dummy half and rounded up before finding Minicello.
Minicello and Perrott, they combined there, something they do brilliantly as wingers. And the penalty goes to the Roosters. It was all happening too quickly for the Rabbits. Shannon McPherson in particular was offside, and Ashley Klein putting the arm up and giving the Roosters a penalty.
That is a great touch finder there from Todd Carney. He took it quickly and gained a lot of ground. And just on halfway, he's found touch inside the 20. That's a beauty.
Perrott, well, you can hear them screaming out. He's tapped it. Go on, play on. The Rabbits weren't sure whether they could go and tackle him or not. I think Sam thought, hang on, can we have a second go? So it's played there by the Roosters, and they're inside the 10-metre line. Nate Miles to the right side for Pearce, in for Carney. He'll be hard to beat. And it's a penalty to the Roosters.
There's no advantage.
I went out to watch the Foundation Cup trial between the Tigers and the Roosters during the trial period, and Carney and Mitchell Pearce were working a lot of these little plays around the middle of the ruck, and in fact Carney scored a try on that occasion exactly the same way he nearly scored there. He really lobbed around him behind the play the ball there, got Pearce to go out and then come back to him. Watch how Carney comes up, he's inside Pearce, Pearce will fade out, now come straight back at the first play the ball man and try to open that little gap in between tired forwards. And Carney nearly got his way through.
And the man pinged here was Isaac Luke, who never got back to the marker position and also never got back to the line defensively. He threw himself at Carney and was the main man in stopping the try. And the Roosters now opt to put themselves more than a converted try in front.
It looked like Andrew Johns, Joey. Did that look a little bit like what a halfback should be doing around the ruck there?
Oh, he's playing beautifully. I watched that trial also, you were talking about Gus, and he's been outstanding, Mitchell Pearce. I've been impressed with him today. He looks a lot stronger and playing a lot more straighter.
Carney, he mightn't have got the 4, but he's taken the 2. And it takes the Roosters to that 8-point buffer. They were at 12-0 coming up to half-time. It was 12-6 at the break. Now they're back to an 8-point lead. 14-6 then next Friday. We go to Wynn Stadium at Wollongong for another of the local blockbusters. The Dragons up against the Bulldogs, beaten by Newcastle. And the other match, of course, is the Titans up against the Rabbits. They got out of jail today, the Titans, and they play the Rabbits. That's the Queensland match next Friday. It'll be a full house for sure when the Dogs play the Dragons in a stadium that's not big. This is Con. And a penalty again to the Roosters. Against Geddes. I think he said something.
Who's the vice captain? Where's Roy? John!
We're going to have a little caution here.
Just over there. Todd?
Stay with us.
Mate, it's not a major issue, but the last set of 6 have had 2 penalties on the bounce, and then we've come out here, first tackle, we've had another one. Okay, you better sort it.
Oh, please. Why do we have to have a caution at that stage? Rabbits, that's just time wasting, isn't it?
Just let me explain that penalty. You see, once a tackle has been effected, you can't put a hand on the ball, and that's what Scott Geddes did. But what Phil's on about is he's firstly, Ashley Klein said, who's in charge? And Sutton's been called 40 metres across to be told to go back and sort it out. Well, he went back to his position and didn't talk to anybody.
Well, no, they don't. They hold the game up, and to tell them what? They've given away 2 penalties.
Con plays the ball. Mitchell Orbison takes it ahead. It's Kenny Dow. 90-metre try off an intercept. And South looked threatening in the first half. Miles.
Hasn't he been good this afternoon, Nate Miles?
Exactly. I said that earlier, Pete. He's trimmed right down and gee, looks good. A couple of his tackles have been so good. Low tackles, raper stuff. Played by Guerra. And now a kick from Carney. He might get the bounce. No, the bounce. Oh, Carney hasn't given up on it. It's a try.
Wow.
It'll be a try for Sam Perrott, I think, with a capital T.
Wow.
He tried it earlier down the other end. It didn't come off. It might have come off here.
Double wow.
Obviously, we go upstairs to see if he's in the field of play when he bats the ball back. Who scores it? Is it Perrott?
Perrott, yeah. He's put a bit of poundage on, but he was there to put it down.
He's hit the big serve over, and don't worry about looking at onside. Everyone's fine because the kicker, Todd Carney, is closer to the defence than any other player from the attacking team. Reece Wesser is sure it's going dead. Carney, foot just in the field of play. Is it? We'll have a look. We need to look from the other side. Looks okay from this side.
It's absolutely brilliant play. Absolutely brilliant play.
This is the one.
He's inside.
Well, this is Jared Hayne's state of origin stuff, this.
He's inside. He's more inside than Jared Hayne was.
Who's in charge here? Stephen Clark.
Oh, that's a try.
Carney's foot. Carney's foot.
It's a try.
Has it got some lime on it?
It's a try.
Perrott a try? Is that what you think?
It's a try. That is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant.
What do you think?
It's a try.
Yeah, try. Yeah.
There it is. It's official. Todd Carney. A never say die performance. And Sam Perrott gets the try. And the Roosters lead by 12.
That is brilliant. Look at that. Little chip over the top. It looked as though it was going too far, but never, ever, ever give up. And he batted it back like one of those champion volleyballers, didn't it? He just didn't bat it back. He batted it back crossfield 30 metres to where he knew men would be unmarked, and Perrott came up with a gift. Todd Carney, welcome back to the NRL. Well done, son.
That is brilliant. They'll be replaying that for some time.
And a very important conversion attempt coming up from the man who set it up. That penalty goal they took moments ago put them out to 8. Well, this can put them out to 14.
Well, Peter, talk about second effort. That's an example of it. 20 metres out, 15 in for the same man. Todd Carney. Can he can. We'll take a break. Roosters another 2. Well, that is just fantastic. You saw him in the first half. I mean, you've got to say it wasn't a fluke because he tried so hard to do it in the first half. He nearly impaled himself on the signage, actually.
Stand side, guys.
And he's persevered and had another shot. South restart. Roosters fans ecstatic.
South Sydney fans, they want the trend this weekend to continue. It has been a round of second half comebacks by the sides trailing in that second 40, sometimes successful, other times not. And if the Roosters think this game is over, it'll be in for a rude shock. Nate Miles tackles centre field, 18 out from his own line.
I don't know if Sean Kenny-Dow meant to throw that pass. The ball just popped up out of his hand and luckily landed with a teammate. He's in there again having another run anyway.
So the kick by Mitchell Pearce, deflected off the body of one of the Rabbitohs, and Talanoa taken just outside the 30 by Perrott and Pearce. And here's Colin Best, and it's gone to ground and gone across to the opposition for Miles. And this is Guerra. Just beyond the 20-metre line.
Well, now the South Sydney halves have really got to come to the rescue here, I guess, with all the hype during the off-season about the South Sydney forward pack and their early match plan of trying to out-muscle the Roosters. They've got to go to plan B and chase up 14 points, which means the forwards have got to get their hands off the ball and the playmakers have got to get time in possession. So Sando and Sutton have got to start to get their hands on the ball.
This pass at close quarters from Pearce back to Carney was touched in flight, 6 more, and Jason Riles picks up the loose ball. Phil Graham ahead. Oh, gee. McPherson launched himself as it goes with Guerra. Good tackle on him by, I think it's Jason Clark that made that tackle. Brute big hit again. And there's the ball out the back again for Carney. Carney using Pearce inside. Back from Con, gone to Orbison. Now to Anasta. And to ground under the tackle there of Geddes. The 9 Orbison, the 1 Carney, 7 is Pearce. And here is Kenny Dow circling them. And Roy Asatasi makes the tackle. Almost said Roy Orbison. Now it's Orbison.
That'll do.
Across now, Carney a juggle, gets a kick in. Oh, Guerra! And a look at it. That it wouldn't stick. And here is Nathan Merritt. He's in his face. Now you see a foot race. 50 to go. Merritt by 2. What's he doing?
No!
He lost the ball.
No!
Oh, that's not Max Mannix, is it? How did that happen?
What a chase by Nate Miles. But what an unfortunate... Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Can you believe that?
Here's Anasta, now from Pearce, now Minicello, here is Graham, in and around champion, they bring him down 10 metres out from the line. This is Guerra in 14, now from Anasta, then Pearce, now here's Con, he puts a little kick in, Anasta, he gets the ball away. And it is Best who's tackled.
No, 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 no. What's a forward doing? Grabber kicking for himself.
Penalty to the Rabbitohs.
What was that?
I don't know, I'm having a good time here. I'm back to hurdler one day. It was 20 in front coming to the last and it clipped it. It's just hit the top of his hip and come out. He was home. He was
home?
He was,
The bookies have started paying out.
Oh, gee. Just when you think you've seen everything, you see something else.
Stewart thundering it up to the 30-metre line. I don't think I've seen a passage of play in rugby league for 10 years. As crazy as all of that, Burgess loses the ball. And that's Guerra. Just inside 30. And Nasta prepares, drew the defence, got Graham into the play. Burgess makes the tackle. Now Carney wants to be involved. He's through the gap, Carney. He's got support left and right. He decides to take on Wesser. Wesser wins the battle long enough for the others to come down. It was Bo Champion who made the tackle. Now it's with Minicello. Here is Guerra. Guerra goes over the line, but the referee wants to look at it.
Oh, that's a wonderful passage of play. Firstly from Todd Carney to make the break. He probably could have set up the support to score, but held on to it. And the composure of Anthony Minicello at the back end here. Carney slices through, support inside and out, takes on Wesser, who does a good job. And there it is from Guerra over the top to put the ball down. But Peter, the composure of Minicello when he comes out of dummy half makes the try for this young man.
It's experience. Young man on screen there, try on debut. And unfortunately, James Orbison is limping off whilst the tricolour supporters celebrate. So they paid a price as well, but the lead is now a substantial one. And again, another telling conversion coming up. Todd Carney, he's just having a ball. The big fend. He looks at Mitchell Pearce, but he sees that Bo Champion is on Mitchell Pearce's hammer. So he takes the tackle. Minicello to dummy half, goes across, keeps going, sees that the defence doesn't come up. So if he continues on, he can open up a hole with a pass, which is what he does for the try scorer.
Well, let me remind you of the charity nest that Steggles and the Roosters are combining in. Steggles 1,000 and the Roosters a quarter of that for every point they beat the opposition by. Now the Roosters are out to 24-6. And that adds up to $22,500.
Well, still a long way to go yet.
I understand that, but I'm trying to make the point. If you're the CEO of Steggles, you've just dead set fallen off the couch.
Well, there's another 1,000 possibly here, and well, 1,250 in total.
He loves it.
There's another 2. So it's got out to 26-6. Andrew, have you seen anything quite so crazy as all of that in the last 5 or 6 minutes?
Oh, it's hilarious, Rabs. But I want to talk about this guy, Todd Carney. Even though he's playing fullback, this is a prototype of the halves. If you want to build a perfect half of 5'8", it's a built like this guy. You see when he got in the clear then how strong and powerful he was? He's just near unstoppable. He's in for a massive year.
I was talking to Brian Smith about him during the off-season, and I said, how's Todd Carney going? He said, when I stand there and listen to and watch them do ball work drills, he said, when Todd Carney comes past me, you can hear the ground rumble. He is so powerful, the way he grips the turf. He said, other players run past here and it looks good. He said, Carney comes past, it's like a V8. You can hear the rumble as he goes. And he's been impressed with him from day one.
Payer.
I'm hoping we'll have him on the Thursday night footy show this week, Todd Carney.
Sam Perrott. They've really run them around, haven't they? Pearce and Carney and company. There's the ice on the leg of James Orbison. And Pearce kicking, and Carney that enthusiastic, was a metre in front of the kicker. And here's Wesser, taken by the kicker, who's put them all onside anyway.
Gus, it's been interesting reading some of the coaches talk about trial matches. You see Des Hasler said that he wasn't a big fan of them. For the Roosters, surely the combination they've got going this afternoon, Carney, Pearce, Minicello, those kind of players, what role they're going to play, it had to be invaluable, those couple of runs.
Absolutely. Trials are different things to different clubs. Here's a 40-20 shot by South Sydney, and it will be a great kick there by Sando, which gives his team a chance to get back in this game. With trial form, depending on the stage of development you are with your club, they take on different significance. For the Roosters, who ran last and have got new players, they've got to get out and do their best. For a side like Parramatta, who went to last year's grand final and they pretty much know their squad, they don't take it as seriously. I've always thought, I don't care about the result of trials, but it's important you don't play bad and get into bad habits, which I think a couple of clubs probably did. But here's a chance for this game to turn a little. With South Sydney in the 40-20, quite often we see a try come on the back of a play like this.
The Roosters taking a long, long time to organise a pack. Is low. 12 out from the Roosters line. Roosters leading by 20. Here's Asatasi. Stewart was the only man who was available. Through to Sando. Big Taylor's out there now again. 3 away from the line. From Lowe to Sando. Double pump to Stewart. Out the back with a one-hander to Luke. And Luke comes across and he gives it to Penny Bourne, who's able to unload. Sutton has a look around, does the hurdle, but Guerra makes the tackle from ground level. Luke, now Sando, and he's put away by Orbison, Mitchell, and the last is there. So the Rabbits, 5 away, down the southern end, Sutton, oh, what a hand from Pearce. Absolutely just reached down like a stalk and brought it back in.
That was brilliant. Look at that. Opportunity lost there for South Sydney. Now the clock starts to work against them. They're 20 behind, 20 minutes to go. It's not insurmountable, but they've got to come up with a different plan with the one they're showing. They just look a little haphazard now, that are probably banking on getting on top physically and then finishing them off. The physical domination didn't come.
Minicello now to halfway. And South's coming up with the ball. Luke picked up and dropped on the ground there by Mitchell Pearce.
Well, we just gave Anthony Minicello a rap at the other end leading into the try. His composure, that was a very poor ball.
He's over the 30. He's one-on-one with Carney. And he's got some assistance out of the number 3, Phil Graham. Play by Taylor. Champion's pass to Sando was questionable. Now it's to Sutton, and it's gone out to Colin Best. And a penalty. Penalty goes to South. He was playing an advantage. Kenny Dowell was inside the 10.
Well, big part of the game coming up. South Sydney really do need points. They can't come away from this end of the field without something now.
Stewart to within a metre. They're deep out to the right, the Rabbits. And it's Asatasi trying to reverse and then having a look at it. The captain to play the ball. Isaac Luke waiting, will he have a go? They're very compressed around to play the ball. Sutton, oh, it's over the shoulder, champion. Merritt will score, no, he's caught it back. No, he's found a reason to think that it travelled forward off champion.
Well, they should have scored there, South Sydney. The run from Asatasi drew that many defenders in that they always had numbers. Yeah, it did go forward as well. Calls a good one.
Well, you'd see from the high shot when Minicello anticipated the kick, he went in. He thought they were going to grub a kick in behind the line. And had the pass not been interfered with along the way, Merritt would have had an easy passage. You remember in the first half, just before half-time, they kicked for Merritt. And he scored uncontested. A let off there for the Roosters.
Graham taken. Show your true colours this year and support your team. Become a club member. It's a good thing to do. Perrott has to get on the outside. On the other side of the ground. You log on, by the way, to become a member. Your club to nrl.com/membership for all the details. Memberships rising all the time. And it's, as I said, a good thing to do. Here's Orbison. He's able to get a ball away for Sam Perrott. And Perrott's got one to beat. Reece Wesser gets it into Mitchell Pearce. Here's another 6 points coming for the Sydney Roosters. 26 play 6 is 30-6.
Another 6 points for the Roosters. And it may just wrap up 2 competition points to start their season. Colin Best was actually hurt out there. He's down on his haunches now. And there's a very proud dad, Wayne Pearce. Did everything in the game. This young man may follow in those big footsteps. They go to the right-hand side. Now, Colin Best, who isn't well, drops off the play and his man gets away on the outside of him. In Perrott throws a beautiful ball back onto the chest of Mitchell Pearce. Got there first and gets their latest try. Wonderful pass there.
I watched South Sydney play in the Charity Shield and I came away from that match thinking that their forwards were strong, but defensively out wide there were still some lapses. Brian Smith has played it pretty cagey here today. This game has gone through stages for the Roosters. They started with a lot of dummy half running and then looking for some offloads around the middle, really looking to tire these forwards out, not looking to chance their hand wide at all, even though that's where probably South were vulnerable in defence. And then once they got the forwards tired and on the back foot, we've seen the likes of Carney and now Perrott and these fellas out on the edges start to create some havoc. I'm so happy that young Mitch Orbison is now back in the second row and hopefully staying there full time. That's his spot.
Carney gets this. We'll take a break. And the men from Steggles and the Roosters. It'll be 32,500 to the charity nest. How do you feel, Mr. Steggles? We'll take a break. Mr. Steggles has just flown the coop. He's gone.
Congratulations to Adam Scott.
He's plucked.
What?
Contacted by South Care's team and featuring the winner to range of prize. Thank you for supporting South Care.
Welcome back to the football at ANZ Stadium. Somebody has said jokingly Mr. Steggles has flown the coop. Never to be seen again. Oh, he's run into Roy the boy's shoulder. The PD player. That was Francis Paul, the wrecking ball. You were Salah.
Well, that was a brute big hit. Look at this. Kabang.
Taylor got him and so did Asatasi.
Oh, you got to love that. That's footy.
Here's Nate Myers to the 30-metre line now. What have we got? We've still got 15 minutes to go. Oh, Francis Paul has copped it again. Stewart got him. He gave him an elbow, or should I say gave him a shoulder, and then facial massage on top of it. Here's Wesser. Mitchell Pearce picks him up, drives him into the ground with some help from Sam Perrin. That's Talanoa. Well, all of the hype and all of the talk about the Rabbits, it was warranted, don't get me wrong, but it hasn't been delivered.
They do it every year, though, don't they? Every year they pump themselves up, and more often than not, they're disappointed.
The story here today, I suppose because of his profile as Todd Carney, but on the stage with him is Mitchell Pearce. Here is Colin Best, and then, Carney, no knock on. Just for a moment I thought it was. Sam Burgess, of course, unfortunately in the beaten side, but he's been damaging. Here's Mitchell Orbison. He's got away from Colin Best. Felipe comes back and puts an ankle tap on him. Crescendo comes through as he tries to get up and barrels him into the ground. Poor old Mitchell Orbison. He's down, he got up, he went down again. Here's Kenny Dow. And that is the 17 for the Roosters. Taken down Kuparitzis. There's players all over the park, but the Roosters getting up as the ball sweeps across the ground. Graham puts in a kick. It's gone down into no man's land. Back there is Lowe. He's got a hold of it now, and he's down on his 10, and he finds Colin Best. And he's just outside 20. Luke, Sutton, Taylor gets it away. Champion striding out. Here comes the defence, and it's Nate Miles again. Nate Miles, he almost ran Nathan Merritt down. Now he's chased the centre down. The new look Miles. Sutton.
There's some very tired Rooster players out there. Some of them have been down holding cramps, and you can just see that fatigue has really started to set in. They've got a huge lead. South Sydney have turned the ball over. But that was an amazing chase there by Nate Miles. He chased Merritt when he dropped the ball. He's come up with a try saver.
We highlighted a couple of times last year as we see football.
Oh, goodness gracious. That was Phil Graham.
Into Jay the cameraman. Can't shoot, can't focus, yeah. Sorry, mate. Sorry. What about go? Sorry. What about going back to the Nathan Merritt lost ball?
Yeah.
Look at Nate Miles. He's been out there all day. How many tackles has he made, Nate Miles? 34 tackles he's made.
Well, that's on Bo Champion. What about when he chased Merritt?
Yeah.
He did that last year. When the Roosters were getting beaten at times by big scores, he was still the one man in the tricolours jersey who would compete and chase like that.
Not surprisingly, a Queenslander.
There you go. I'm just going back to that Nathan Merritt drop ball rate. It was 18-6 when Nathan Merritt had that ball pop out. 18-12, you may have had a different ball game because only moments later, of course, Guerra scored. Just little things in game add up to be such big things.
Whatever happened to Nathan? 10 kilos he shed, Nate Miles. Here's Nuasala. And they've taken him off. Carney. I don't think you'd be getting Carney off other than with a block and tackle or something. He's having the time of his life. And Mitchell Pearce, what a wonderful game. Talanoa inside the 40-metre line. Played quickly. Can they do something? Sando to the halfway. In for Best. Best taken down by Con. Just outside the 40. Next Friday night, Canterbury up against St George Illawarra at Wollongong. Next Friday night, that's what you'll see in New South Wales first. The other match you'll see first is Rabbitohs up against today's winner, the Titans. 22 out. next Sunday we'll get the Roosters up against the West Tigers. That'll be a beauty. From Sutton, and Champion couldn't hold. And it's going to be ruled forward and a scrum. Yeah, Roosters versus Tigers. You'll be the first there, won't you?
Oh, love watching the Tigers, particularly on a Sunday afternoon. And the Roosters, who've had all summer to get ready for this game, have now only got a week to get ready for the second one. So their coach will have to get their heads in order and get them going. I was actually invited to training yesterday to watch the Roosters in their last training session in preparation for this match. You talk about players losing weight and being lean. Bracken Astor having a rest on the sideline. They all looked lean. They looked hungry and sharp and enthusiastic. And if body language counted for anything, you knew that they were going to play well today. He's done an excellent job, Brian Smith and his coaching staff, throughout this summer to get them ready in this sort of condition for their first game of the season. It's been brilliant.
Yeah, that's when Todd Carney went past him and he rumbled. He was hungry. That's what it is. What about the completion rate? St George Illawarra were magnificent on Friday night in that department. The Roosters, 30 completions from 35. And South Sydney, well, it's getting worse. 19 from 33.
And the thing about the Roosters completion, Peter, if you don't mind me saying, St George Illawarra was 33 from 36. That ball is lovely. It's torpedoed its way over to Kenny Dow. And he comes to Talanoa. Oh, he swerved around him easily. Now he turns inside. Here comes his second try. Kenny Dow for the Roosters. Now it's becoming humiliating.
What about the pass from Mitchell Pearce? And the greatest halfback of all time is sitting down on the sideline today, Andrew Johns. The ability from a standing start to go zing and send that ball 30 metres spiralling across the field, hit an outside back on the chest. I would say Andrew Johns is down there smiling at that little effort from Mitchell Pearce. Brilliant.
36, play 6.
Well, the point I think you're about to make, Ray, about that completion rate is that the Roosters, they haven't played without using the football. They've been prepared, despite some dummy half running, in their own half. They haven't been conservative in the way they've approached it. So their success rate in controlling football has been tremendous, but they've been dangerous. They've asked questions of the opposition all afternoon.
Andrew Johns, what did you think of that pass?
Oh, it's phenomenal, Gus. I couldn't be more impressed with Mitchell Pearce. I saw him go out in the warm-up and I was surprised just his physique, how much it's changed. It's just got so much bigger around the tops of his legs, and today it's just been outstanding. We might be looking at the New South Wales halfback, but the ability of that pass to find the mark, and you see when Kenny Dow scored the try, who was inside? Mitchell Pearce. So he not only threw the ball, but he had the presence of mind to support. I've been so impressed with him.
So Todd Carney, I'm just wondering who you people at home think is the man of the match. Is it Pearce? Is it Carney? Is it Carney? Is it Pearce?
Is it Nate Miles?
It might be Nate Miles. He couldn't have done any more. Carney from 15 in, 20 out. There it goes, and it's going wide. So 36 to 6, 30 points to the break.
It's wonderful.
Sorry. I was going to say $37,500 into the Steggles charity nest.
It's wonderful vision from Mitchell Pearce, isn't it? But that's a left to right pass, spiralling out, hits us centre right on the chest, and he can run this boy, Sean Kenny Dow. Put a great move on Talanoa and then just easily stepped around Wesser. And Mitchell Pearce, one of the fittest players in rugby league, still going, still urging his team on. The corresponding game last year, round 1 last year, the Rabbitohs won 52 points to 12. 12 months to the day. We're here and the Roosters lead 36 to 6.
Nuasala able to get it away. Perrett's been there, making himself available all day. He's an industrious player. Sam Perrett. Minicello to ground. Here's Tom Simons. We believe he hyperextended that left knee when tackled by Isaac Luke. Here is Phil Graham getting a great pass, floating it back to Guerra. He's going to get a double. It's gone forward.
Oh, how unlucky.
What a day it would have been for Aiden Guerra, a Townsville junior who spent 5 seasons in Melbourne in the system down there and didn't get to play a first grade game. That would have been a double here today.
Good work again by Carney. The little vision here, gets it in behind the line. It's attacked brilliantly by Graham, who just stumbled and couldn't quite get his momentum up, and he tries to pop it back over the head. A brilliant pass. Brilliant pass, but just judged to be a little forward, and the celebrations fall a bit flat. That's unlucky.
Brace riding from the sidelines now.
I think that's the coach down there with him as well, Brian Smith, and the only downer of the afternoon is that they have picked up some injury concerns. James Orbison is down there, so too Tom Simons, and Braithen Astor hasn't completed for a while. He would have concussion to some degree, I would imagine, after that head knock.
40-metre line then. And bouncing down and back, favouring Minicello. Of course, the bloke that's going to come into the side, given that Cherrington might be gone for the year, I think that's the readout I've got of him, Waria Hargrove. What he did in Four Nations indicates that he's going to strengthen the side even more.
I actually saw him training on his own with the trainer yesterday while the other boys went about their ball work, and he is a man now. He is monstrous.
Carney's kick spot on. It's not a 40-20, but it's a wonderful kick. Waria Hargraves, you say he's filled out?
Oh, he's massive. He's a big boy. Good kid too. He'll be back around about round 4, I'd imagine.
Yeah, he's got a shoulder problem. They're thinking round 4 or 5.
Cherrington, is it the season, Cherrington?
Gone, yeah. Well, one would hope that if they made the semi-finals, there may be a chance there. But it's a cruel blow for him. I'm such a rap on that boy, Anthony Cherrington. He's had no luck. Wonderful kid and a great talent. And he's just spinning his wheels at the moment. He can't stay on the field.
Haven't they got good builds for back rowers, both he and Tom Simons?
Yeah.
Rangy, athletic, fast.
Same with young Mitch Orbison too. You know, they probably should have been training Mitch Orbison as a back rower right from day one, because it is his position, and as you say, it is the prototype of the modern day footballer.
Well, yeah, you can say the modern day, but this cup they're playing for, the Ron Coote Cup, he was long and rangy and fast, one of the great locks, and here's a good ball from David Taylor, who stays alive inside, helping Colin Best down to the 30-metre line. And so Sutton plays with the markers really. Now for Luke Stewart, a little bit of ball work from Luke. A bit of show and go from Big Stewart. Sando, cross behind Pettybourne. No champion, Nathan Merritt. He'll score Merritt. Nathan Merritt gets his second try of the day. 36-10 then, with just a couple of minutes to go.
And Nathan gets his second try of the afternoon about 20 minutes later than he would have liked to and should have. Got his second 4-pointer of the afternoon. Nice set play there. The second man got the defence coming in to try and snuff it out and left the overlap to Nathan Merritt, who didn't have a lot to do. Too little, too late.
He's a freak at scoring the last try of the game, isn't he? Absolute freak. I think Centrebet were running a promotion today where you could back a player to score the last try, and if he didn't score the last try but he scored a try in the match, you got your money back. So you'd have your money on Nathan Merritt every week, because he's going to score a try most weeks, so you get your money back. And it's uncanny the number of times he scores last try.
So we've finally found a foolproof way.
I'm 66 and suddenly some genius has found a way to not lose on the punt. Fair dinkum, where have you been?
What?
Where have you been? You've suddenly come up with a conclusive way not to lose, and you've left it this long to tell me.
I didn't do it, Centrebet did.
Just there from Isaac Luke, a shake of the head. With the final result, 36 points to 10. And they were the favourites coming into this game, the Rabbitohs.
What does that do to you mentally, Peter? I would imagine the Rabbitohs came here today with even visions of this scoreline being in their favour. With the hype that they've given themselves, what does it do to be beaten by this score?
Well, it may be the best thing ever happened to them. They won't be talking themselves up too much, and it may just bring them back to earth and realise that they've got a lot of work to do. It doesn't matter what your team looks like on paper. That's of no consequence, because this game isn't played on paper.
Penalty goes to the Rabbitohs.
They're going to be behind you.
There's only a matter of seconds to go. 36-10.
Come on, guys.
36-10. Unbelievable scoreline. Stewart. I told you earlier that the Roosters' number one sponsor, Steggers, are paying $1,000 for every point they win by to 7 charities. Here's the ball going across to Talanoa. Stepping off his left. Still going Talanoa. Still going Talanoa. Now reversing backwards. Now to Sutton. Reversing backwards. That's good. Now here's Asotasi. Here's Bo Champion. Here's Eddie Pettyboard. Now Nathan Merritt. Still alive for Champion. They're working for Steggles now. Here's Stewart. And it's gone over for a little kick across. There's still a chance for the Rabbits to score. And in fact they don't.
Taylor.
Or does he? No, that's it. It's all over.
If you back Nathan Merritt for last try, you had your heart in your mouth there. You nearly lost again.
36-10 as the fat lady sings. Todd Carney is the man of the match. Welcome back to league at the top end. Todd Carney, he's basically been in exile.
Yeah, $1,000 from Brute. Todd Carney, 23-year-old, could not have had a better debut for his new club.